It's moving right into West Little Rock, the neighborhoods of Chenal and Pleasant Valley, and moving right up through there. So it's the tail end of that storm. And if we can go back, I'm just going to say, you got to be in your safe spot right now. Is there still a picture from Brett that we can show?
And he's zooming in on something I don't like to see.
Yeah, folks, I think that's a tornado on the ground.
There's 10 Fitness. Do we have Brett on the phone? It's so hard to tell from these pictures.
Todd, can you hear me?
Brett, we see the lowering. Is that a tornado right above the 10 and 10 Fitness?
I cannot confirm that that's a tornado there, but I can tell you right behind that sign, that whole larger area above it is rotating rapidly.
That's it right there.
Tornado.
Okay, that's coming right into West Little Rock, down to the south of Rodney Parham.
Right there. Hold up. Right here. Here we go.
Moving into West Little Rock on the southwest, just south of Rodney Parham, folks. This is coming up. I'm trying to think of some of the locations. Markham, West Markham, Bowman.
Yeah, in that area, right.
Asbury, Canis, Woodland.
Big time debris.
You got debris?
All right, we need to...
Yep, I see the rapid movement.
To the left? Yeah.
We have a significant tornado on the ground in Little Rock.
I think, yeah, Todd, it's right over the Burns Park area there.
Yep.
It will be coming into the North Little Rock area.
Lakewood, North Little Rock, take cover now. Sherwood, take cover now.
If you can see my image here, you guys see this? Are you seeing this?
Yeah, see. That's it.
That's it right there.
That's Breckenridge Drive that heads north. And those homes there.
So, obvious tornado damage, and that's catastrophic damage. I mean, that is defoliate, no foliage on the trees, and trees sheared off, and so that makes you think it was a very, very strong tornado.
I'm sorry we paused, folks. We have friends and family who have been affected by this, that homes have been destroyed. And so if there's hesitation, we're trying to keep our composure, too.
As a North Little Rock native who grew up here, this is hard to see. Now, we had the Little Rock tornado in 2008 that followed a similar path right up towards the North Little Rock Airport. But I'm just going to start right behind me, and we're just going to show everything. So this is off Military Drive. You're looking back into Burns Park. We're at Military Drive and Parkway, right where Cozy's Shaved Ice is. And the damage is extensive.
Hey guys, it took us a while to make it here to the Colony West Shopping Center, where these businesses and these homes took a direct hit from this tornado. We actually came down Rodney Parham, crossing over 430, and you could see where the path of the tornado came just north of Emmanuel Baptist Church there on Shackleford Road, then crossed over I-430. There were numerous cars that were flipped over there. It came across the Breckenridge Village Shopping Center. Many of those businesses there are heavily damaged. The roof taken off of much of Breckenridge Village Shopping Center.
Well, now to our Beth Hunt. She is standing by live in her hometown of Carlisle, which took a direct hit from last night's severe weather. She leads our storm coverage tonight. And Beth, we know the damage there is extensive.
As you can see, it is, Chris. You know, there is widespread damage across Lonoke County. This includes communities like Austin and Ward. Lonoke was hit really hard, parts of Cabot, and right here in the small town of Carlisle. The high winds that came through here last night downed enormous trees and took down power lines with them. So the whole town is without power. And sadly, as you mentioned at the top of our newscast, 2 people lost their lives in this storm last night.
We just got eating dinner, and she came in and sat on the bed, and all of a sudden, it was like a curtain. It just came between us. When I called out, well, I found out, you know, and come to myself to, you know, see what was happening, know the tornado was born. And by the time I found out and called out, no answer.
This is not the only location, as we mentioned before, that sustained damage. There were several other communities in our state that were hit hard last night. One of them was the Amboy community of North Little Rock. This is an area that was already trying to get over the March 31st tornado. And our Emma Allen is there live today. She's been looking at the damage there. She joins us now live. Emma, what can you tell us about what you see there?
Beth, this tree was knocked down during last night's storm, and the person who lives here tell me it was knocked down due to the high wind speed that happened last night. Now, Richard Wilson and his family say they are thankful to be alive after a giant tree fell in front of their house, crushing a car and damaging some of their roof. He said he has been helping his neighbors clean up because a beehive is stopping him from moving his own tree in his yard. Wilson said he was scared that tree was going to fall down back during the March 31st tornado, but he was wrong.
On March 31st, that's the thing we were thinking about was our trees, because we could feel the house was shaking, we could hear the winds, and we kept waiting, but they never came down. And we're like, okay, we got great roots in here, these are not going to come down. And here we are.
Let's take a look now at power outages in the state of Arkansas as they stand right now. The overall number at this point, 87,008 outages, so just over 87,000. By percentage, the most outages can be found here in Lonoke County, where they have they have about 21,000 customers out in Lonoke County. And then when you go down to Bradley County here in the south, about 5,600 customers are out of power there. But by far the most outages in the state of Arkansas, Pulaski County right now at just under 35,000 customers who are out.
Welcome back to our live coverage of Sarah Huckabee Sanders' inauguration ceremony as the first female governor of Arkansas. Today is no doubt a changing of the guard here in the state.
Sarah Huckabee Sanders represents generational change in our state, as well as a breakthrough for women.
No doubt about it. I had the chance to sit down with the governor-elect last week. We talked all about her campaign, what she plans to do in these first 100 days in office, and the biggest obstacle that she faced along the way.
It's safe to say Arkansas's governor-elect Sarah Huckabee Sanders is in the middle of a whirlwind, assembling a cabinet and staff, finalizing a legislative agenda, planning an inauguration and a move to the governor's mansion, all while becoming America's youngest chief executive.
Being sworn in as the 47th governor of the state of Arkansas, making history as the first female, those are great things, but the most important thing I'm focused on is not making history for myself, but making history for the state on what we can achieve together.
I recently sat down with the former governor to talk about what today means to him as he watches his baby girl take the oath of office. When you walk into former Governor Mike Huckabee's home, his love for guitars is on full display.
A lot of them are autographed guitars from James Burton, who played with Elvis. I've got Ringo Starr, the Ventures, who gave me that bass guitar.
Something else that's front and center is his love for his daughter, Governor-elect Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
What's exciting now is to see our next governor go back to the place she grew up in, this time not as that little girl running around trying to hide from her parents and the state troopers, but trying to find her kids who are running around trying to hide from their parents and the state troopers on the grounds.
Is this a full circle moment?
In a lot of ways, I think it is a full circle moment. It's historic, and there's never in American history been a father-daughter who occupied the same governor's office. That's never happened. This is genuinely unique.
I, Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
I, Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of Arkansas.
And the Constitution of the State of Arkansas.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations,
Thank
Governor.
Congratulations to everybody. Congratulations. And with God as our witness, we will show the world that there is still a place in America where freedom reigns and liberty will never die. And that place is Arkansas.
Back now at the Arkansas Pharmacists Association building, Chris May, along with Ryan Houston and Alicia Dover. You have been listening to the 47th governor of Arkansas, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, from the steps of the state capitol today, reciting the oath of office, which she called an unbreakable bond with the people of Arkansas. She promised to devote every ounce of her energy and every piece of her heart to making Arkansas the greatest state in the nation. An inaugural address, guys, that went just a little bit over 22 minutes and hit a lot of familiar themes that we have heard in the past from the new governor.
Lines of depression Long line of city face tells the story of the place that you've been. I love you so. I thought you should know.
It's been 4 months. The tears haven't stopped.
He was more than just a homeless panhandler, you know. He was a person. He was a dad. And
on the street, they called him the guitar man. Cheryl Highfield lost her father, Ricky McDonald, August 26th.
He told me it was an adventure that I would never understand. I tried to get him to come home with me, told him that he could come live with me, he just couldn't drink. And that bottle had him.
While it broke her heart to see the way he lived,
3 calls were made by the same person throughout that day trying to get him help.
It's the way he died she can't understand.
Regardless of his title, whether he was a homeless, drunk bum, or he was a CEO of some company, he was still a person.
North Little Rock 911 Blanchard, may I help you, please?
At Mason Quality Motors.
Okay.
Two buildings down from the Forge, North Little Rock Bar. There was a homeless man, and he's laying out in the dead beat of the sun. And me and my friend went down there to try to help him. And he's just laying out there, and he said, take me to the back of the building. Well, we can't lift him. And he's slobbering out of his mouth into his beard. And
all right, man, we'll check it out. I know where he's at. All right, we'll check it out, ma'am. I'll send somebody out there, okay?
The first 911 call to request help for McDonald came at 2:08 p.m. According to police reports, an officer arrived at 2:47, performed a welfare check, and left 4 minutes later.
Yeah, that 922 at 300 Pike is who I just left from. He was adamant that he does not need any assistance. I thought it looked familiar. Okay, 10-4.
They could have picked him up for public intox. Something could have been done. Something could have been done.
By 3 p.m., the temperature steadily rising into the triple digits. The 911 caller tries again.
North Little Rock Communications, this is Amy. Hi, Amy. My name is and I don't mean to be a bother, but I called 911 about an hour ago. Okay. And 911 hasn't come and done anything at all about it, so I didn't know what else to do, and y'all leave him in the heat, and he's going to die. Okay, well, I apologize. I just came on the shift, so I have no knowledge of this at all. Okay, but, I mean, I called 911 last time. And okay. And you said that he's between 2,800 and 3,000 Pike? Yes, he would be between the Forge and the liquor store, is the best way to put it. But he has been laying in that same position since 12:30 probably, for sure, in the dead beat sun. Okay. I think he needs help, ma'am. Okay. I'm going to get Officer sent out there to check on him, okay? All right. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Thank you. Bye-bye.
No one came.
17:32 hours.
At 5:32, the fears of that 911 caller are realized.
I was notified by Detective Gibbons of a deceased person.
North Little Rock 911, this is Amy. Hi, Amy. This is we're calling you about that homeless guy out here in the sun. Yes. He is now dead, and his body is purple. Amy, just between me and you, this really kind of pisses me off and hurts my heart. I understand. And I know. No, Amy, you don't understand. I've been calling y'all and telling y'all that this guy is out here hurting, and he's in the dead of the sun, and nobody moved him to the shade, and now he's dead. Yes, ma'am. I do. I understand. I'll have to go to bed thinking about this tonight. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's okay. I completely understand that you're upset, and you did everything right and everything that you could. Yes, ma'am. Y'all go get his body, please. Yes, ma'am. I'm sending officers over there now, okay? Yes, ma'am. Okay. All right. Thank you, Amy. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.
When I heard the 911 calls, my heart ripped out of my chest, like...
3 911 calls for help. Still, no one could save her father.
It says at that time the descendant was alert and oriented and refused assistance.
NLRPD says they cannot force any adult to accept assistance, medical or otherwise.
And if they did go check on him, how do they determine that he's okay for them to turn around if they did go and then him die?
The state crime lab called McDonald's death an accident, a meth overdose with cardiovascular disease and environmental heat exposure as contributing factors.
People that are supposed to be there to help us protect and serve, and I don't feel like he was protected or served that day.
Highfield believes an arrest for public intoxication may have saved her father's life.
He was clothed in multiple layers, and there was an empty liquor bottle, a tall beer can, and a small full bottle of liquor nearby.
But now,
this is making memories. I'm going to cherish this video one day.
memories are all she has left.
It doesn't matter what he did, who he was, how he was. It doesn't matter. He was human, and the system failed him. The system failed him. Bottom line, the system failed him.
Face tells the story of a place that you've been. I love you so. I thought you should know.
Highfield says her father was recently discharged from a nursing home. She also contributes his release from that facility to his death. North Little Rock Police Chief Patrick Thiesing has stated, quote, "I am in contact with the family of Mr. McDonald. We are working with the family to provide any assistance we can."
This Saturday afternoon, many of us will spend the afternoon inside the familiar confines of War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock. This year marks the 75th anniversary of the stadium, a place that's hosted games and events we will all remember for a lifetime. Tonight, Channel 7's Cassandra Webb looks back at the history of the stadium we know and love.
War Memorial Stadium.
I've never been proud of a Razorback team than I was tonight. I want to cry.
A backdrop to our lives, weathered and wise, like the grandpa you love but don't see nearly enough. Sure, we visit when the Razorbacks come to town or a Salt Bowl championship title is on the line. Still, it's always there, ready to welcome us back.
And good evening, Paul.
Hello, Chris, and welcome football fans to War Memorial Stadium.
Glory's light still gleams in the heart of every brick. The echoes of cheers and the voices of our friends gone way too soon, but still so familiar, like a balm that calms a restless heart.
Touchdown, Quentin Caver! Oh, my!
It's home to us. From childhood dreams to those twilight years, the thrill of victory has brought us back time and time again. This place where football memories are treasured gold, in the grass where legends used to tread. It was 2002, Arkansas versus Louisiana State. LSU needed that win to stay in the conference and national title hunt, but not on our watch.
Might have been the loudest I'd ever heard this stadium.
Jones looking.
Trailing late in the fourth quarter, Matt Jones connected with DeCorey Birmingham for a touchdown within just seconds remaining. David Carlton's extra point gave the Razorbacks a 21-20 victory.
I can't believe it!
It was a miracle on Markham. Crowds united by rhythm, a symphony of souls converged as we got in sync with one another and showed off our moves like Jagger. Time stands still in moments, memories like those. War Memorial Stadium. You know, a funny thing happens when you say a name over and over.
War Memorial Stadium.
War Memorial Stadium.
War Memorial Stadium.
A name loses its meaning, it gets lost in the repetition, and we take its significance for granted. But War Memorial Stadium is a standing tribute, a silent sentinel of sacrifice to the Arkansas servicemen and women who clashed in battles fierce. For us, the worn-out seats that still hold dreams, a reminder of the cost of peace. It's dedicated to the Arkansans who stood the line. War Memorial's enduring grace. Courage and valor will live there forever. So next time you visit, tip your ball cap, look to the skies, and say thank you for the memories made, for the Arkansans who gave it all. War Memorial Stadium, a label that carries stories untold, a beacon of identity. In every letter, history unfolds. The importance of a name, profound.
Our Cassandra Webb reporting tonight. There will be special 75th anniversary celebrations at War Memorial Stadium during Saturday's game. Tailgating opens at 6 o'clock. See you there. The gates to the game open at 10:30, and kickoff against Western Carolina comes at noon. Well, now to Faulkner County, where plans are in the works for what's called a cryptocurrency mining operation. It would be in Vilonia, but a growing number of people who live there and even some city leaders are now opposed to it. Channel 7's Andrew Mobley joins us now live from Vilonia with more. Andrew.
Behind me is the planned site for the mine. If you think a Chinese Bitcoin mining facility in small-town rural America seems out of place, the citizens of Vilonia agree with you. Tonight at the town council meeting, a number of community members have been given time on the agenda to voice their opposition to the installation of a crypto mining facility within city limits, within a mile of residential areas. Why is that an issue? Ask Gladys Anderson of Bono, Arkansas, where a crypto mine already exists, right next to her house, and which emits a constant, unbearably loud drone that torments both her and her son, diagnosed with autism.
It's caused a lot of headaches. I've been to the doctor over headaches. My son is currently, in the backyard having a meltdown. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're not going to do what they say they're going to do.
Crypto mines are, very simply put, large arrays of powerful computers dedicated to generating digital currency, which is why Green Digital LLC, the company which owns both the Bono facility and plans to construct a similar one in Vilonia, places them in the immediate vicinity of power substations. The considerable usage of local power is a chief concern in Vilonia.
It was discussed in the planning meeting that they were going to be using the equivalent of 30 schools worth of power. And one of the questions was posed, what happens if another investor wants to come to our city? And our power grid needs to be upgraded because of the mass amount of energy that this thing is using.
Matos, like Anderson, feels deceived, both having been told that the crypto mining facilities would create minimal noise. Green Digital has assured that sound walls will be put in place. But in Bono, Arkansas, Anderson has been waiting for months. Green Digital LLC, according to OpenCorporates.com, has a Mr. Gong Hu as its director and/or officer, listing him as a manager. Gong Hu appears to be the same Gong Hu as the CEO of Greenland USA, a multi-billion-dollar real estate company and subsidiary of Greenland Holding Group, a Chinese real estate developer with ties to the Chinese government. Vilonia Mayor Preston Scroggins doesn't like one bit of it.
I think foreign ownership of farmland and stuff is at least the federal government, in my understanding, the state government did do something good. They passed a bill banning that. I wish we could do more here in our country.
The local planning commission is still in the process of deciding if the crypto mine will be allowed to call Vilonia home. On your side, I'm Andrew Mobley.
Imagine living next door to that. All right, Andrew, thanks very much. We will have more from that Vilonia Town Hall meeting tonight at 10 o'clock.
I walked into this building every day for 31 years. It's quite a place.
I was pretty impressed with this building
Yeah.
when I first came to work here. And that's pushing 40 years ago, if you can believe it. But it was just impressive. One thing that impressed me was the studio, because it was huge. You just didn't see television stations that had this much space to build the studio.
You know, when I walk in the front of the building, it reminded me the first day I came to work for Channel 7. I walked in and the lobby, now I was used to broadcast TV stations and radio stations that had maybe a chair or two out front. They had a designer-looking lobby. I mean, it was top of the line, and I was impressed from the minute I walked in. They just hired me. And then as I walked through the building, the studios, 2 studios, which was a big thing for most TV stations back in the 70s. And then the newsroom was hustle and bustle. I went upstairs to the 3rd floor. It looked like a scene from Mad Men. I mean, it was really first class.
As far as the studio goes, there have been several changes. I remember we used to have a TV that would rise up out of the set behind the anchors. And of course, when I first came here, there were 2 studios. Studio A was the news studio. Studio B was where we did production and the Bozo Show, and then eventually the wall was removed between those studios and it just became one big studio.
We liked being downtown because we were so close to where all the news was breaking, the state capitol, and then there were so many state agencies in buildings downtown. It was hustle and bustle.
When I moved to Channel 7, the one thing I remember about this building more than anything, when I first came to work here, you have to realize that there were no cell phones, there were no computers, nothing like that. So when I came to work here, I walked in the newsroom in this building, and every single desk that the reporters and people in the newsroom sat in, every single desk had an electric typewriter, and next to the electric typewriter was a big ashtray full of cigarette butts. And that is so true, because everybody smoked back then.
You know, it brings back a lot of great memories. I always loved coming to this building, not so much because of the building, but because of the people who were in the building. The building is what connects everybody. It's where we all come to for work, but you know, it's the people whose party you go to, or it's the people whose funeral you go to, or the hospital room you visit, or the wedding you go to. So, you know, the building connects the people, and the people are what make a workplace great.
Well, last week I had a chance to watch a special basketball team work out. It's off to Cutter Morning Star for their story.
These are the Arkansas Diamonds, a 65 and over basketball team, a squad that features some jewels, like 72-year-old Kay Foshee, who's been known to knock down 3-pointers during games.
I've been with this team for 25 years. We know each other's lives, and we're very close friends.
We're so blessed to be able to play at this age.
We just love to compete.
They play 3-on-3, half court. Now, their advanced age can present issues.
I've had knee replacement, and we've had a couple that have been cancer survivors. One's now playing with a pacemaker.
The doctors look at us like, you do what? You play basketball? And we're all like, yes, and I would say 99.9% of them are very impressed, and they tell us to keep doing it. Now, some of them might tell us to stop, but we don't listen.
They love the game and each other. It's a sisterhood. Jan Segrist lost her husband of 49 years last December.
I knew they were praying for me all the time. I knew they were, texting or coming by or bringing me gifts, and they came to see Gary. And he loved Bigfoot, and one of the players that didn't hear one day brought him a big metal Bigfoot, and as sick as he was, he picked it up, took it outside, and put it by the window, and I have not touched it since.
Some may wonder how long these ladies can continue to play.
I want to make it to at least past 80, because if I make it to past 80, I think we're going to win a national championship.
Oh my goodness, I literally do not know what I would do without them. I mean, they're family.
You wish those ladies well as they head to the national tournament this week.
Yeah, that's a big deal. One's playing with a pacemaker, no big deal. No big deal.
No, they're all in great shape, and what an example for everyone
they
are.
You can tell they love it.
Follow your passion regardless of your age.
For sure. All right, thanks, Sully.